is to approve, and it's the April 23rd minutes. The April 23rd minutes are in your packet. I just made a clerical error in the agenda. So what is in the packet is correct. We just have to amend it to make sure the motion is approving the April 23rd minutes. But otherwise, I will turn it over to you, Chair Rogish.
Okay, well, we will call the TPO to order for June 11th. We are virtual. This is my first time running a virtual meeting, so bear with me with any technology or any issues that might come up. We'll start with a Pledge of Allegiance. I think you can put the flag up. Is that correct?
Yeah, he can put it up real fast.
Okay. There we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If Ms. Cruz, you will proceed with the roll call and certify our quorum.
Okay, and if you are having any difficulty with your microphone, please let us know in the chat. You're also welcome to denote your presence in the chat. I'll monitor that as well, and then we'll try to work to get it fixed. Okay, Town of Ashland, Ms. Barnhart. Mr. Malloy. Charles City County, Mr. Patterson. Mr. Adkins.
Sarah Kill, I think a lot of other people are in another meeting.
Okay, that meeting was ended, so they did get kicked out of it.
Okay, because there were, I don't know, 25 people all just waiting to be grouped together in another meeting.
We can give it a few more minutes.
Is it possible it's the old link?
I just used what was in my calendar, so I assume so.
Let me chat with Sid. I apologize, y'all. It looks like people are coming in now. I think there might have been some confusion, but we will get it sorted. So I'm sorry, Chair Rogish, for your only virtual meeting. We're really making it challenging for you.
How did we make it all the way through COVID like this?
We forgot how to do it. I guess, Dr. Newbill, are you sitting in the same spot as Jody is there?
Yes, we're on opposite sides of the room.
That's right. They look the same on the other side.
Yeah, it's just the orientation of the room.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Okay, Miles is here now. We were in the other place together, so.
Ms. Schickel, you let them know?
I did. I chatted in that other Teams meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm monitoring everyone coming.
Did we get Ashland here? Because she was on earlier this morning, I think.
I don't see Ms. Barnhart on here yet.
It looks like we have a handful of the people that were in the other room, so maybe we could start with roll call and see what we
Okay.
can. Mr. Craig is here, I see, so.
This is Jonathan Goochland. Is this only phone? Because I'm looking at a screen that says the meeting will start shortly, but I'm fine with the phone.
Mr. Lyle,
just
you're in the
submitted
correct
your
meeting.
camera.
I bet. Okay, I'll
should-
just. Hello.
Sergio, why don't you start with the roll call now and see if we are at a quorum?
All right, I believe Town of Ashland. Oh, we still do not have Ms. Barnhart. Charles City County. Mr. Adkins let me know that he was present in the chat. Chesterfield County, Mr. Carroll.
Here.
Ms. Schneider,
Here.
Dr. Miller. Dr. Hilton. Goochland County, Mr. Lyle. I know you're here. I'm hoping you can come off mute.
Mr. Lyle,
I'm here.
Perfect, thank you. Mr. Vaughters. Hanover County, Mr. Davis. Ms. Pritchard. Mr. Hudson. Henrico County, Reverend Cooper. Chair Rogish.
Present.
Mr. Schmidt. New Kent County, Mr. Moyer.
Here.
Powhatan County, excuse me, Ms. Stewart. Powhatan County, Mr. Kinney. Ms. Morissette. Mr. McClung. Mr. Powers. City of Richmond, Mr. Breton. Dr. Newbill.
Here.
Capital Region Airport Commission, Mr. Rutledge. GRTC, Ms. Torres.
Here.
Ms. Adams. RMTA, I understand we have Shannon filling in for Miss Dean. Are you present, Shannon?
Here, yes.
Can you tell me your last name?
My last name is Marshall.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Welcome. We're glad to have you. Secretary of Transportation, Mr. Totten. EDOT, Mr. Totten.
He's
Okay.
here. I see him on the screen.
Okay. Oh, there you are. Okay. And Mr. Riblet.
Here, good morning.
Mr. Dixon.
Here.
Mr. Walton. Department of Aviation, Mr. Smiley. DRPT, Mr. Hudson. Ms. Dubinsky. Federal Transit Administration, Daniel Koenig. DVTA, Mr. Parsons.
Present.
Federal Highway Administration, Mr. Ofori. Mr. Rucker. Rucker, let us know he's not here. Ride Finders, Ms. Ruffin.
Here.
And Mr. O'Keefe. Okay, give me 1 second just to certify quorum. Okay, we are all set for quorum. And I did just want to give a brief reminder. I know being virtual, sometimes it's not feasible for us to have cameras on, but as a reminder, it is preferable to have a camera on because we are voting. And so for identity purposes, we want to make sure that you are who you say you are and that your vote counts as you. So just a reminder if you can. Thank you. And now I will turn it back.
Sarah Keel, I appreciate that. I don't know of anybody who wants to pretend to be me.
That I'll second that.
You might be surprised.
I'll second that, Mr. Lyle. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Graves. Appreciate that. And I'm glad we were able to get together today. This was a meeting that we weren't sure we were going to have, but if we needed it, we put it on the agenda. So do appreciate everybody making the time to be here today on this. You have the packet in front of you, hopefully. Are there any considerations to amend the agenda?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Ms. Schneider.
Martha, do I need to ask for the amendment right now? I'm just asking, sorry. Okay, so we do have an amendment for some dollars for additional funding for a project that was approved by the TAC this week earlier. And so we just need to add that into the agenda, please.
We'll add that to the agenda. Proposed by Ms. Schneider.
I'll recommend you add it as item C4.
C4, okay.
Thank you.
Miles, is that okay with you?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. And most members, I think everybody received an email yesterday describing this. Yes.
Okay, so we'll add that to the agenda, C4.
Thank you, sir.
This is a public meeting. Is there anyone from the public that's online that wishes to make any comments to the policy board? Seeing none, we will close the public comment period. We have one item on the consent agenda. It's the approval of the April 27th meeting minutes. They are in your packet. Do we have a motion on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Oh, okay.
So moved by Dr. Newbill. Is there a second?
Second.
Yeah. Second by Ms. Schneider. And all in favor?
Aye.
Yay.
Aye. Mr. Chair, one question. In the packet, it says they're the March 5th, 2026 meeting minutes. You said April. Are we voting on the March 6th?
We are actually voting on the April 27th. Those are in your packet.
No.
That was a clerical error on the agenda.
It's the, I believe it's the April 23rd meeting.
It's 23rd.
April 23rd. I apologize. Sorry, we in the beginning, there was a notification on the clerical error there. So the motion is to approve the April 23rd meeting minutes by Dr. Newbill. Seconded by Ms. Schneider. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Sorry for the confusion on that. Moving on to the agenda for the regional funding, I'll turn this over to Will Heller for the first item for C1.
All right, everybody should be seeing the screen. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair Rogish. Good morning, everybody. This is the first of 2 TIP amendments that I have for you all today, starting with a request from GRTC. So this is an existing project and falls within the authorized project phase of our transportation planning process. So as we all know, the TIP is the document that plans investments and federal obligations for the next 4 years. GRTC has made a request that we amend the FY24-27 TIP to update funding to include FTA 5339 funds for the existing project GRTC 008. FTA 5339 funds are for recipients that operate fixed route bus service, and they are used for capital projects to replace, rehabilitate, and purchase buses, vans, and related equipment. They may also be used to construct bus-related facilities, including technological changes or innovations to modify low or no emission vehicles or facilities. The GRTC 008 project will use the 5339 funding to purchase paratransit vehicles for GRTC's CARE paratransit service. GRTC CARE operates within GRTC's fixed route coverage area and extends up to 3/4 of a mile from GRTC's fixed route bus lines. This TIP amendment will update funding for GRTC 008 in FY26 and 27. So here we have the TIP block provided by GRTC. This project contains a mix of state, local, and federal 5307, as well as 5339 funding. And today we are asking the policy board to accept the technical advisory committee's recommendation and approve GRTC's proposed TIP amendment. A draft resolution of approval is included in your packets on page 21, and I will pause for any questions.
Any questions from the board? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the funding for the ADA accessible vehicles?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Schneider.
Second.
Moving properly seconded by Dr. Newbill. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yay.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, well, just continue rolling then. So thank you again. This is my final TIP amendment that I have for y'all today. So like the last project, this also falls within the authorized project phase of our transportation planning process. The goal of this VDOT TIP amendment is to take the scope of work for the existing Virginia 288 northbound hard shoulder running lane project and then split it between 2 UPCs. So we'll have the original UPC, which is UPC 122147, which will remain in the TIP, and it will hold the funding for the project's technology improvements. And then we will have a new UPC, which is UPC T31811, which will be created to house the funding for the project's roadway improvements. So to kind of remind everybody about the goal of this project itself, it is creating a hard shoulder that can be used as a running lane during peak travel times to ease congestion between Huguenot Trail and Patterson Avenue. It will involve pavement improvements as well as the installation of intelligent transportation systems that will help to signal when the shoulder is being used as a running lane and when it is not. And to reiterate, the TIP amendment requested from VDOT will split the existing project between its original UPC and a new UPC, with the new UPC housing funding for roadway improvements and the original UPC housing the funding for technology improvements. And here we have the TIP block for the new UPC that is provided us by VDOT. And today we are asking the policy board to accept the technical advisory committee's recommendation and approve VDOT's proposed TIP amendment. A draft resolution of approval is included in your packets on page 26, and I will pause for any questions.
Thank you. So no changes to the actual functionality, just changing the funding sources, correct?
Correct.
And this is a VDOT request. Yes, question?
Just verifying the technology money, that's $8 billion, if I remember correctly.
The The total, at least that is provided in the tip block for this section is, wait, let me go check 1 second, is 14. I would have to kind of go back and look at the original UPC to give you that answer, Mr. Carroll, but I'd be happy to do that.
Well, this was a CVTA approved project. And I think it was in our second or first round of regional project allocations. The opportunity came up for us to fund this. And there was a match, a technology match for 8 million, I believe was the number in order. And we would have lost that money if we didn't fund it through the CVTA. And I just want to make sure that I still have that amount correct. And I think the rest of it was funded through CVTA. Maybe Chet, you can answer that.
Yes, sir, you're correct. CVTA committed 8 million, and that's under the 122147, the other part of the block. But if that 8 million is moving to this new number, we just need to coordinate with VDOT to understand how we should reference it in our allocations plan.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Delisle.
One question, we've had some experiences with VDOT and their project management percentages. Is this going to have any impact on funding? Are we going to see a duplication of some of the VDOT administrative fees? Do we know if the budget's going to increase because there will be 2 projects to administer as opposed to 1?
Mr. Totten, did you have your hand raised for that?
I see your hand up, Mr. Totten. When you want to take that?
Sure, I can cover Mr. Carroll's question, and hopefully somebody give me a wave that you can hear this time around.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect. So there is no changing to the funding. Essentially, we have advertised the project twice and have had unsuccessful bids. So we are segmenting the project into a roadway construction and ITS construction. There are no changes to the funding. No changes to the what we call the engineering construction inspection services that the department provides to manage the project through the construction process. We are simply trying to attract bidders. You know, this project is all it is. It's about 50% split between the ITS portion and the roadway portion. And we just have had we've had non-responsive bids to this point in time. So this is purely administrative change, no changes to the funding. Mr. Carroll, the technology funds remain committed to the project, so no adjustment to that. So we'll hopefully get successful bidders. This is working its way to advertisement on both segments on the 23rd of this month for, I believe, a third advertisement. Hopefully that helps for the good of the group.
Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Totten. Did that answer your question, Mr. Lyle? And Mr. Carroll?
Yep.
I guess let me put this yes, no. So there will be no change in the administrative portion of this. We're not going to see double costs administering 2 projects as opposed to 1. Is that my understanding?
That is correct.
Okay, I am good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions before you make a motion to approve that, Mr. Lyle?
Not for me.
Any other questions from the group? Is there a motion to approve this TIP amendment to split the funding on this?
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Lyle, properly seconded by Mr. Carroll, I believe. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Moving on to C3 in your agenda packet.
Yes.
This is going to be presented by I think Miles Bushing, right?
Yes. Thank you,
Okay,
Mr. Chair.
Miles, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. So good morning, everyone. This item is a request for funding through the RRTPO's Regional Surface Transportation and CMAQ funding programs. As you'll recall, at the last meeting, the board took action to approve the allocations for this upcoming fiscal year, approving a set of new projects to receive funding from the MPO. This was the next highest rated project So this is moving forward, and we went back with the TAC to look at the next highest rated project that we couldn't fully fund to make a decision on whether we should go back and partially fund that project. So what is the project? It is the western extension of the Pulse along West Broad from Willow Lawn out to Parham. This particular component, as requested, is for the signal priority, which is basically making sure that the signals are changing in sequence so the bus can get through and move more quickly down the corridor. But it supports the broader project as a whole, which is the entire Western Extension project. So TAC went back and looked at the project as a whole, not just looking at this component, but the entirety of the Western Extension. And so the estimate for the project is just over $67 million. To date, GRTC and Henrico have been able to secure $44.6 million for the project. So there's a remaining balance of 22.6, just under $22.7 million. The request for this project, or this component of the project, was $16.9 million. So as you can see, that would cover the majority of this. We don't have quite that amount of funding available for what we would normally allocate to new projects. But what we do have available is about $12.9 million. So we've been coordinating with VDOT to make sure the math's all going to square, but we do have about $12.9 million available. The framework generally allows the policy board to put leveraging funds on applications, but it does establish a limit that those funds only sit on the project for 2 rounds of Smart Scale or whichever funding program they're chasing money on, and then it reverts back to the MPO if it's unsuccessful. And so what the TAC is recommending is that we deviate from the limit of just the PE phase to award that full $12.9 million to this project to make it more competitive going into the Smart Scale round, leaving about $10 million to be funded through the state process. So the TAC request or recommendation was that $12.9 million. There is a resolution for your consideration on the last page of the agenda packet, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Miles. Can you remind us how many projects was this number 11 in the scoring, or where was this originally?
Yes, I'd have to go back and double check. So I'll pull that up really quickly. But in essence, what the policy board approved at the last meeting was a handful. I think it was 4 projects which were fully funded by the board. And the balance of the funding was distributed to either cover additional requests for projects that had already been in our system but had a shortfall, or it was leveraging funds to go into Smart Scale. So this would be adding to the leveraging funds section of it, but I don't remember exactly which number it was. It was 10 or 11. It was somewhere in that section of the rankings.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board on this particular action? Okay, seeing none, do we have a motion to award this for the addition for the 27-30-32 funding program?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Moved by Dr. Newbill. Is there a second?
Second.
I didn't get who was the second there. Was that Mr. Lau?
Me and I think one other person, but I did say that, yes.
Okay, gotcha. Any discussion on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, and we're going to add C4 from the agenda, and that is also going to be presented by Miles?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on, then this next project is also a request for funding through the STBG and CMAQ funding program, our flexible regional funding. This is slightly different. So that project was part of our recent scoring ranking process. This is a request for funding for an existing project that's already in our system, and our framework allows requests to come in sort of off cycle if the project has been advertised and let out for bid. Responses have come back and a project is short and needs funding to be able to award a contract quickly. So that's what we're responding to with this, which is why we have added it as a last minute addition to the agenda. So again, this is the funding phase. What is the project? This is a sidewalk project on Midlothian Turnpike in the Stonebridge area, so the old Cloverleaf area, connecting essentially from the new developments out to Brothers Road. This is about 7/10 of a mile. It would include sidewalks on both sides of the road, as well as dedicated pedestrian crossings, which are lacking in this area. This serves an area that is a high pedestrian safety action plan priority area, so top 1% or top 5% across the Commonwealth for risk as mapped through that planning process. So this is a high priority for pedestrian safety. So the total estimate when the project was originally selected, just for a little bit of background, it was originally 2 projects that the RRTPO had funded. Since they were next to each other, they've been merged together into one project to gain efficiencies in the contracting. And it was about $5.5 million. The current estimate is $7.2 million, so that represents about a 30% increase over the life of this project, which is why this is coming to the policy board and not able to be approved at the TAC level. So the current funding on the project from the MPO is $5,663,000. So that 5.5 was the base estimate, had gone up slightly. And then the new total is $7.2 million. So $1,542,000 change in cost that we are requesting from the policy board. So Chesterfield's request was 1.542. The TAC has reviewed this, and the TAC felt that this is kind of the general trend of these projects that were selected right around before COVID and have gone through those cost escalations over the last few years, and felt that it was appropriate to award the full funding. It was also noted in the discussion that Chesterfield is funding many other sidewalk improvements in the vicinity of this corridor. So it's kind of connecting and building out a full network throughout this portion of the Midlothian Turnpike area. And so the request today is for the policy board to award $1,542,000 in additional funding. There was a draft resolution of approval that was sent out along with the staff report to everyone to effectively award that amount. So I'm happy to answer any additional questions.
Has this project been started yet? Just out of curiosity.
So this has been advertised, and the bids have come back. It was advertised once, and the county, the estimates came in too high. The county rescoped it in coordination with VDOT to remove elements that could be funded through other projects. This is the second time it's been advertised, and they're looking to award the contract. But again, the bids came in higher than expected.
Gotcha. But it is sidewalks on both sides and pedestrian crossings for up to almost a mile on Midlothian Turnpike there. Okay. Any questions from the board of Miles? Seeing none, is there a motion to award 1.52 million and follow the TAC recommendation?
Motion approved.
Moved by Ms. Schneider, seconded by Mr. Carroll.
Good enough.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yay.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion's approved. Thank you.
So the going rate for sidewalks is $1 million, a tenth of a mile.
Yeah, I think that's how that would be the math there. Now that is on both sides, Mr. Moore. That's a pretty.
I understand that. So $500,000 per tenth. Okay, because we have a lot of area in New Kent that could use some sidewalks. So it's good to know what the costs are.
And that's a pretty busy. That's a pretty busy corridor.
Oh, I know it's well worth. I'm just saying. I just want to know the cost for
going rate.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Chairman.
Also.
Yes, Mr. Lau.
I would add that in Goochland, we're only doing one side, and we don't have any traffic signalization, but we're coming in under that. But it's still, they're pretty proud of that concrete. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not sure if it's gold plated or not, but we invested $57,000 on a crosswalk just to get from a parking lot to our farmers market. So it's I thought a can of paint from Lowe's and a paintbrush would get the sidewalk done, but evidently not. So anyway.
Okay, moving on in the agenda to some of the committee and partner updates. Is there anybody from the CTAC that has an update?
Chair Rogish, this is Gordon Dixon, the chair of the CTAC committee. Good morning.
Yes, Mr. Dixon, go ahead.
Sure. We met last month, May 21st, had a very robust discussion. Martha Schickel went through our United Planning work program, and as the CTAC was discussing kind of key components of what they're looking for and how they can kind of continue to drive the conversation, provide feedback, and be a resource to you all going into the rest of the remaining year. So they're looking at some of those key components to look at what's happening from CVTA, Smart Scale, but in particular, wanted to hear kind of what the TPO is doing. And so one of the items that we're going to be presenting to that group is updates on what this committee is working on, and so that they can provide those kind of key feedback components on it. Carrie Winghauser also presented on completed transportation plan enhancements and the surveys. And I think there was a lot of discussion around that, particularly around the mode shift of the survey, talking about how folks are looking for the funding and what direction we're allocating those dollars. So there is a lot of intense interest in what happens in that component. Final component I would add on this is Martha Schickel gave an update on the PQuad engagement plan, which was very enlightening and got our members wanting to volunteer to provide some input as you all are going through that process. In particular, pre and post, how the community is seeing the funding that is being allocated and what those projects are going forward to. So the group wants to volunteer and be a resource rolling into that. And then the final piece with our engagement strategy, talking with the group, we have about 30, 40 different events that the group's trying to get engaged in with the various different folks spreading the message of what is happening in this area. So good feedback on that group.
Excellent. Thank you for the update, Mr. Dixon. Any questions from the group? Appreciate the updates, Mr. Dixon. Thank you.
Sure.
I don't think Mr. Rucker's here. Is anybody else on the Federal Highway here? Didn't see Mr. Rucker. Mr. Totten, I know you're online. Any updates for the group, please?
Yes, good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of items to highlight from the monthly report provided to you all. Smart Scale, as you know, we are winding down the application process. Full applications are open for completion since June 1st. With a final completion date expected of August 3rd. Certainly as your staff and the localities and submitters are finalizing, they'll be working with the VDOT staff here at the district to try and wrap things up at anything that's outstanding at that point. That will lead to scoring and then a draft somewhere around the January timeframe for consideration, in addition to next year's 6-year plan update in the spring of 2027. Hard to believe I'm saying 2027 already. Couple of items related to a couple of active ongoing projects. Fall Line Trail, what we affectionately call Design Build 2 on the southern end of the district. We are nearing the stage of active construction. We expect that to begin in October. We are planning a groundbreaking for that project in September. Mr. Carroll, we have tentative dates set. We are awaiting the Secretary, Governor confirmation of the dates. Once I have those, I'll get them to you. But we have set tentative dates, just waiting on that confirmation at this point. I'm not at liberty to share the date yet, but I know we'll be finalizing in the next few weeks, hopefully. So stay tuned for that. I wanted to make sure everybody was aware the VDOT portion of the Powhite Toll Parkway. We will cease to collect tolls in the first week of January 2027. That's the current projection. So The estimated date is January 8th, 2027, those tolls on the Chesterfield County portion. So that's the portion from Chippenham Parkway, essentially right at the city line west to its existing terminus at Brandon Mill Parkway. We will cease to collect those tolls in January of next year. We do anticipate advertising a construction project to decommission the toll facilities and make some minor roadway modifications to accommodate the change in the operation of the highway. So that's kind of a big day coming. Those of you guys who maybe have been around for a while, you'll recall that the tolls have served to provide only debt service for the initial construction cost. That was a commitment made to the Chesterfield County when it was constructed, that once the debt service was retired, the tolls would be removed. We're reaching that point in January of next year. So please stay tuned for that change from Mr. Carroll's folks and Ms. Schneider's folks in particular. That's a pretty big thing for the region. Lastly, I do need to acknowledge some of you all may know Mark Riblett, who is on the VDOT staff. Mark Riblett has decided to end his public service career on August 1st of this year, having served the last plus or minus 26 years or so with VDOT, and prior to that, about 15 years of service with the County of Chesterfield. He's been an acknowledged transportation partner at every stop in his journey. He's been in his current role for about the last 10 years. So we will begin to fill and change seats with Mark. That he'll move into a seat of full-time grandparenting, and we'll look to find somebody to fill his shoes and his chair as he exits the premises. But we very much appreciate his service. He's been instrumental to the delivery of the programs associated with Plan RVA and many other folks in the locality side of things during his career. So if you happen to see Mark out and about, just wish him the best in his new full-time grandparent status. That'll close my comments, Mr. Chair. I appreciate the time on the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Todd, and great updates, except we're sad for that last one. Obviously excited, Mark, to see you grow as a grandfather and take care of that very important task, but definitely sorry to see your service leave. So thank you, Mark, for your service. Any other questions?
Appreciate it for the time. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Any questions from the group? Okay, seeing none. Moving on to the Department of Rail. I think, Mr. Hudson, are you on?
Yes, sir, I'm on. I'll give a couple quick transit-related updates. First off is our rail team continues to work on the statewide rail plan and has a second round of public engagement that is scheduled for July. And we also have some engagement that's going on currently in June. I suggest that anybody that wants to stay engaged and involved, head over to our website. There's an option to sign up and receive alerts and notifications from our comms team related to the rail planning efforts. I also wanted to mention to everybody that we wrapped up our first full month of service on the new Virginia Breeze route. This is the Tidewater Current, which is our new route that essentially travels along Interstate 64. We're still working on crunching the numbers, but it has been a successful launch so far. Information continues to circulate out there. We're continuing to see interest in booking of trips, and kind of as the summer heats up, quite literally, we expect lots of people will be interested in taking that to the beach. And we are offering some introductory fares and some specials on that route. Folks that are interested in the Virginia Breeze can head over to our Virginia Breeze website and see all sorts of information about what we have going on this summer on that service. That concludes my updates for today. I know it's short, so I can keep everything moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson. Any questions from the group? Looking forward to that service coming online to get to the beach. Thank you, Mr. Hudson.
Sure thing.
Ms. Torres from GRTC, you there?
Yes.
See you. Yep.
Good
Go ahead.
morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Just have one update to invite everyone to our Tap into Transit Day on July 14th, which is just a celebration of what we've accomplished in terms of transit in the region, and also is our big fundraiser related to our zero fare efforts. And also, if you can encourage you guys to promote the effort as well, make sure you guys have communication to push it out to constituents, as well as any other organizations to attend the event. Last year, we had over 400 attendees and are hoping for even a greater outcome this year. And it's at Main Street Station at 4:30 on August 14th. And just want to make one last comment. Appreciate the support related to the Western Extension. That is actually very, very, very exciting to be that close to funding that project. And will give us quite a bit of leverage as we go towards smart scale or other state opportunities. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Torres. Any questions for GRTC out there? Okay, thank you very much. And I think it was for RMTA, was it Ms. Marshall? Is that right?
That's correct. Thank you. And good morning again. Yes.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's good to be here. So I would like to share the week of June 22nd. So right around the corner, our MTA will be observing Global Road Safety Week. And this year's theme is Put Your Mind in Drive. It spotlights distracted driving and the importance of staying focused behind the wheel. To observe that event, we'll be issuing a news release. We'll be embarking on a social media campaign and encouraging our employees, our followers, and you all to take the pledge to support distracted driving. So, if you come across any of our social media posts or news releases, please like and, share. We would appreciate you helping to drive home this really important effort. And
Excellent.
That concludes my update.
Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Marshall. How are things going with the license plate tolls?
All electronic tolling, yes. So we, I think it was February 28th where we launched all electronic tolling. And so that means that when motorists drive our facility, they pay with either Easy Pass or pay by plate. And so we are still working to accept our system. And so we really encourage, motorists, we continue to encourage them to sign up for Easy Pass. It's the most seamless travel. It's the most cost effective. But if they don't want Easy Pass, to, certainly be on the lookout for those pay by plate statements in the mail and be sure to pay them, promptly.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any other questions for Ms. Marshall? Seeing none. Moving on to CBTA, I think Mr. Parsons, go ahead.
Good morning. Thanks, Mr. Chair. The CBTA met last Friday, and our next scheduled meeting is not till the end of July. I believe it's the 24th. But we are actively working with member localities to schedule appointments with your boards to give an annual update on CBTA and the impacts that it's having locally. And I think that the last thing I'd like to share is that 2 of the tip amendments on the agenda today were great illustrations of the collaboration that we do in this region between the TPO, CBTA, VDOT, and localities, and being able to move these projects forward in a more advanced fashion than other regions is something that we at the CBTA are striving for, and the ability to collaborate and combine different funding sources is a great example of how we're making this happen in the real world. So I know Mr. Bushing, Ms. Schickel, and I are continuing to talk about ways we can fine tune the approval process and get the funding as flexible as possible so that these projects can get out the door. So thank you to the TPO for working with CBTA regularly to make sure we're doing the best thing we can for the region. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Well, thank you, Mr. Parsons, and thank you for moving us as a region forward and continuing that with all the great work that that all the regional organizations are doing. So thank you very much. Any questions of Mr. Parsons from the group? Seeing none, moving on. Ms. Schickel for Plan RVA.
Thank you, Mr. Rogish. I think many folks on this meeting this morning just finished the commission meeting, so I'll be quick. With appreciation, we approved our budget this morning. Had a great report from Lauren Shepard, our CFAO, about the financial outlook for this current fiscal year. And I think the top line is that we are moving forward into the next fiscal year on time and on track to be able to meet our fund balance objectives, and are still maintaining, hopefully, a high level of service for our member localities. So appreciate all of you for that help and support, and looking forward to the new fiscal year.
Thank you, Ms. Schickel. Keep up, and just the same that I said to Mr. Parsons. Thank you for everything that you've done this year, and as always, because again, we are moving forward as a region, and it is because of the great work that people like yourselves are doing. So thank you very much. Okay, moving on the agenda. Are there any member comments before we close out?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make one.
Yes.
I'd like to thank you, Mr. Rogish, for your service as chair, and also for what I hope is your ongoing support of the TPO and me in the future. So thank you very much.
100%, Mr. Moyer, as you lead the next meetings going into next year. So thank you for stepping up. It's been fun, and I've really appreciated it. And of course, I couldn't have done any of this without the excellent staff that we have at Plan RVA. So to all of you out there on the staff, thank you. For everybody that's in the partner organizations, thank you for everything you've done and keeping this region moving forward. Okay, with that, we will.
Thank you for your leadership, Chair Rogish. We appreciate you too. Thank you so much for your leadership.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Any other comments before we are adjourned?
Okay. Mr. Chair, can I just remind people that, again, the City of Richmond and the Virginia Museum of History and Culture are hosting the Richmond Sail Fest, kicking off Central Virginia's countdown to America's 250th anniversary. We'll have the tall ships, along with dockside entertainment and concessions starting tomorrow. So please join us.
Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Newbill.
Mr. Chair, one last thing.
Yes.
I just want to thank everybody in the region for the outpouring of support for our 2 police officers and the canine that was shot and killed in the line of duty. You know, we all know that these incidents, when they happen, are very tragic. Our 2 officers are recovering. It's going to be a long process for them. Very brave individuals that put themselves in harm's way to save a lady's life, which they absolutely did. Yeah. Very tragic scenario for all of those, I say traumatic experience for all those who involved in saving those officers' lives. I have to give kudos to both Chippenham Hospital for the amazing team and amazing work that their people in the emergency room did in their surgical suites to save those officers' lives. And I know, along with Jessica, appreciate, and the rest of the board, the outpouring of support that we got from the region. And we're going to continue to make sure that our officers are okay. But I did want to say thank you and hope everybody has a great summer.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Carroll. Any other final thoughts? Okay, everyone, have a wonderful time. Our next meeting is July 2nd, and have a great, safe start of the summer. Thank you.
Thanks. You too.
Adjourned.
Take care.
Have a good summer. Very good.